All right, we are live. Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. My name is Davonne Reaves. I am the founder and president of the Davonne Group, as well as a hotel owner, investor, and a CEO and founder of Vestor, which is a crowdfunding platform. And I come to you weekly where I talk about everything hotels. So my show is called Hotel Ownership Unplugged. And so sometimes it's just me, but sometimes I make it more fun by having special guests. And so today, we have Purvi Panwala. And we've been knowing each other for what? I don't think we've ever met in person, have we?
I don't think we have actually.
Yeah, I think we met like during COVID. So when the world was shut down. And so we've just stayed connected with each other via social media. And so, Purvi, I would just love for you to introduce yourself. You're just a powerhouse and a rock star, and everyone should know who you are.
Oh my God, you're way too nice. So my name is Purvi Panwala. I'm the co-founder of PPM Corporation, which is a hotel ownership group that specializes in boutique hotels. One of which is actually in Brooklyn, New York, and I also serve on the board of United Way.
All right, right. And so you're actually in the hotel space as well. So I got my start off as a front desk agent in a hotel, and you were actually, if I remember correctly, you were born in a hotel, like
I was
literally.
literally born into it.
We cannot have this conversation without you telling that story.
Yeah, so I mean, my parents were in the industry first. They were managing a property, and my mom was pregnant with me. So she was cleaning rooms while she was pregnant, and her water broke as she was cleaning the rooms, and she had to rush to the hospital. So I've been working in the hotels before I was born.
There you go. Okay, so you can't get any more of a classic story than that. So you were literally born in a hotel. So how has that been from that generational perspective, being born into the hotel industry? What did that journey look like, especially being a woman?
Oh yeah. I mean, I was very fortunate. I've been very fortunate because my mom is basically the spearhead of our company,
Mhm.
which is very unique,
Right,
especially in this industry.
right.
So it's been very inspirational to see everything that she does. But on the other end, I also see all the hard work that goes into it, the long nights that go into it. So growing up in the industry, you kind of don't want to do that. You want
Right.
to steer away from it, try to do something easier, maybe get an office job. And then, as you get older, you kind of understand why your parents were doing what they were doing and the benefits they got out of it. So at some point, I had to make a life decision for what I want to do for myself. And I realized that, if someone can essentially become a millionaire in one generation working
Mhm.
that hard, I think there has to be something to it. Not to mention that I already knew the industry like the back of my hand. So it just
Right.
makes sense.
So by being a lot of people don't realize this, but being a hotel owner, or really owning real estate, it comes there are politics that come with it, right? And so recently, which made me reach out to you, I saw that you were in New York, you were getting coverage, advocating for hotels. When it comes to, as far as just lobbying for us, as far as hotel owners' rights, as well as employees' rights as well, right? Because we
Absolutely.
can't have a hotel without employees. Like the employees are the backbeat of the hotel. Like you can't have a hotel without employees, even if you try to automate it, right? You still need that people touch. AI can't replace it. Like it's just still people got a question, just like people scream on the phone. They don't want to talk to a representative. They want to talk to an actual person. Okay.
Yes, yes.
So yeah. Oh, shout out. We got Donald talking about Reno. That's right. Shout out Reno. I got a hotel in Reno, Oklahoma, Home2 Suites. But Purvi, so please talk about, what you're doing. And what you're doing from the political aspect as far as advocating for hotel owners and employees, and how actually did you get into it? I would start from there first. Yeah.
Yeah, so I actually joined AHOA, Asian American Hotel Owners Association, and
Mhm.
they're very forward about advocating on behalf of hotel owners and on behalf of the industry. So that's kind of how I got into it, and I was on the board of AHOA previously. So I was going to Washington, D.C. at least twice a year, if not more, to advocate on the different bills that were being passed and the different laws that can affect us and employees. Because the thing is, a lot of times people that are passing these laws, they don't truly know the ins and outs of the industry, of the operations, of owners, of the employees. They don't really know the day to day. So it's
Mhm.
important that we go and speak to our delegates and educate them on how these laws affect us and the everyday lives of the people we employ. So I personally am very passionate about going out and doing that, whether it's in Pennsylvania, which is where I'm from, or Washington, D.C., going at Capitol Hill, which I'll be going to tomorrow,
Mhm.
or New York City, like I was at, last week, advocating on behalf of New York City hotel owners and employees.
So what does that look like when you by advocating? Because there are some of my viewers, they're getting into the hotel space or they're employees. So they know I know when I was working in a hotel, I didn't know about advocating. And the only reason why I learned about it and the importance of it, I was a member of the American Hotel Lodging Association Under 30 Gateway. And so we would have our meetings at I think it was like Hotel on the Hill, and I
Mhm.
couldn't make it this year because I thought I was going to be out of the country. So I definitely want to get back involved, um, and start attending locally, Georgia, and nationally as well. So can you explain, like, why someone should be a part? Why should we get in on the political aspect as far as advocating for our hotels?
Sure. I mean, advocating, like I said, it affects your day to day, but it also affects your bottom line. So if
Mhm.
you're an investor, if you're a hotel owner, all of these laws that they pass, they impact your taxes, they impact the way that you operate, they mandate things that might not necessarily make sense for hotel operations. And, they just don't understand these things. So it's important to be a part of AHNLA or HOA or even any local lodging associations so that you can have the power of numbers. So that when you go to these delegates, which means the congressmen or the senators that are essentially trying to pass these bills, then they not only understand how it impacts you, but they understand um, how big of an impact it makes because of how many people are showing up. It's
Mhm.
not just five people showing up saying, hey, this is bothering me. This is hundreds and thousands of people that it impacts. So being able to come to them and give them those numbers, they can make an educated decision on what they want to do with that bill going forward.
It's so crazy when I got involved by going on the Hill, at the annual meetings, that we still had to plead, and we're still doing it now, how important the hotel industry is to the economy.
Absolutely.
I'm like, when y'all travel for your meetings, when you travel across the country, 9 times out of 10 or 8 times out of 10, you're staying at a hotel, right? At the hotel industry, we create 1 out of the 25 jobs in the country. You know what I mean? And so we are definitely an economic driver for the country, for the economy. And we still have to plead our case on how, we pay taxes, right?
Yeah.
We really, and a lot of times, we not only do we create jobs, but we create careers, right? So you can start off as a front desk agent and become a general manager, become a CEO, or start off as a dishwasher. And a lot of folks have put their families through school and all sorts of things, and we still have to plead that case. So what are the things that you recommend to get people involved as far as politically, even as an employee or as an owner? What are some of the steps? I know you mentioned being a part of a HOA, but what would be just as a basics to get people started?
Sure. So as you were saying, it does really impact the economy, and people might not realize it. So in New York City alone, $74 billion in economic impact only from the tourism industry.
Hmm.
That's really incredible. That is a
You said
huge
billion, right? You said 73 billion.
billion with
That's
a
what you
B.
need, not a million, but that's $73 billion. That's a
That's
lot of
right.
money. Yeah.
Yeah, and $48 billion of that $1 billion is direct spending. So that
Mhm.
means booking those hotel rooms, staying at the restaurants, and going to the local retailers. So, when people travel, it brings everyone in and it drives the economy in that area. So
Right.
anything that it affects the tourism industry or any specific state or city, it's going to have a huge ripple effect in the economy in that area. And, because it impacts not just the economy, but your day to day and also the business, that's why it's so important to go to your local delegates. If I personally know my congressman and I can reach out to him on his cell phone, I can text him, which is such a unique position to have. And I didn't do anything unusual for that. All I did was go to the meetings. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you can set up a meeting on your own if you have a concern. That's what they're there for. You're paying these tax dollars because they are working for you. However, if you want someone to work for you correctly, you need to give them the information so they can make informed decisions on your behalf.
Mm-hmm. Now, you made up a good point as far as a problem. Like I did, and one thing I like about the meetings at the Hill that they actually like give you, depending on which state you're with. I was with one time I was with when I lived in Boston. Lived in the Boston area. I was with Massachusetts. I couldn't be with Georgia. And then when I'm with Georgia, I was with Georgia. And so they would give you, and I don't know if they still do because it's been a while since I've gone. They would give you like talking points. Sometimes we had lobbyists, official lobbyists, in our groups when we would meet with the senators or meet with the Congress folks. So what kind of points, some people don't even know what points to bring up if they do have that type of access with their elected official. Do you know what kind of points do you bring up, just high level, for folks who wouldn't even know what the issues are, to really, so going back to the education component?
Yeah. So if something isn't directly impacting your own business that you have your own personal concern about, that's one of the reasons why it is really important to be a part of these larger associations so that they can kind of bring those bills that are on the table that the congressmen and senators are actually debating right now, figuring out what do we do with this bill. So when you're with these associations, they can tell you what's on the table, and then they can kind of give you some information on how it impacts the industry. So then when you go and meet these delegates, you're educated on what you're telling them as well and how it impacts you personally, your own personal story. And to be honest, when I first went, I didn't say a word. I was so nervous. This is obviously you're on Capitol Hill or in front of these huge lawmakers. I was very nervous. I didn't say a thing, but I sat there and I learned how the
Mhm,
process works. I learned about the different bills and how it does impact us and the
mhm,
people around me and how it impacts them as well. So,
mhm,
honestly, if you just show up, even if you
mhm,
don't say anything, if you just show up and show your face, the power of numbers has a huge impact.
mhm, mhm, mhm. So going to events that are put on by HOA, the American Hotel Lodging Association. So, because the HOA has chapters, regional chapters, American Hotel Lodging Association as well. So you mean by showing up, though, those are like good starting points or places where people can start getting involved?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
They
Okay.
give you a great guide, great support. And I think majority of the time when I go to advocate, it's with an association like that.
Mhm, mhm. Now, what made you decide to, which is so brave of you, what made you decide to publicly, speak on behalf of the hotel owners and the hotel employees in your area?
So in New York City specifically,
Mhm.
they are trying to pass a specific bill which has a huge ripple effect on the industry,
Okay.
on New York City. And of course, if New York City passes it, then other states around it would look into potentially passing it, I would assume.
Mhm.
Um, so when you're passionate about something, it's important that you show up, and you talk about it. I think a lot of people don't realize that the decisions that they're making are going to have this sort of ripple effect. So in New York City, they're trying to pass something called the Safe Hotels Act, INT 991. And that bill basically paints itself as a hotel licensing bill.
You
But
said
what
it's the Safe Hotels Act
it,
nine. What is it? Safe Hotels Act
INT 991.
INT 991. Okay.
Yeah, so it's painting itself. It's making it seem like it's just a simple annual hotel licensing bill. But what they don't realize is within the bill, like many bills, there's other parts of it that are going to affect other people. And more specifically, this is going to put thousands of jobs at risk.
Mm.
People
Okay.
will lose their jobs in this industry and in surrounding industries if this bill is passed. And that's why it's so important that we make sure that our council members over there in New York City understand that so that we can have a conversation, have an open conversation of what the real issue is and how we can address it.
Okay, thank you. I put some links in the chat So that way, if people want to read more about this act and how it can affect the hotel industry, I definitely put it there. So we have some folks who have been leaving some comments. We got Lonnie in the house. Welcome. We got Bert. Thank you. We got Donald. Thank you. You're always here. Appreciate it. He's always repping Oklahoma. No, but thank you, Purvi, for coming in and taking the time out your busy schedule to talk. I had to get you on the show. I was like, oh my gosh, when I saw it, I was like, hey, we need to hear what you're doing. We need to hear, how we can support each other, especially being a member of because if it affects, sometimes if it affects us, it can affect us all, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And so we have to advocate, for ourselves. So how can folks get in contact with you? Like, can they connect with you on LinkedIn, or how, folks want to learn more, see how they can support?
Yeah, absolutely. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn,
Mhm.
Purvi Panwala, co-founder of PPM Corporation. If you look me up and you send me a message, if you need some support, if you want some more information, definitely feel free to reach out to me, and I'm more than happy to give you more information. And if you're from New York City, please, please, please reach out to your council member for the area that your business is in and stress to them that they cannot pass this because it will drastically affect the jobs of thousands of people, and it will drastically affect the New York City economy. So that would be my ask to everyone out there.
Well, thank you. Hey, you heard the ask. Well, thank you so much, Purvi. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we're on LinkedIn and YouTube. So appreciate you. And yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
and you know what? I want to tell you one thing.
Yeah, please.
I admire you so much.
Oh gosh.
Everything that you do, seriously, I follow you on all of your social media and everything that you do. I admire you so much. You're able to bring, like-minded people together for such a positive reason and help them grow in their lives and grow their careers and actually live the American dream. You're creating the American dream for hundreds of, so many people. So I think what you're doing is really incredible.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Purvi. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We got two strong women on here. We just trying to make the world a better
That's
place.
right.
That's all. No, and hopefully one day we can meet in person.
Yes, yes, we will absolutely do that.
We have to meet one day. So I hate that I won't be with you all on the hill. So the next time y'all go on the hill, I definitely try to be there because I do need to get involved. It's important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look, I can't ask folks to do it if I don't do it. So I got to be on the front lines with y'all.
You're welcome anytime. We'll go together hand in hand and show them.
Let's go. I'm ready. I just need to get a babysitter that I'll be ready.
There you go.
All right. Thank you so much, Purvi. Thank you all. Have a good day.
Thank you.